Radio 1's been at the forefront of popular music, a celebration of its 25th birthday, now on BBC One, with a party in Sutton Park.
25 years I've been there. What was the question? Yeah, 25 years.
Hi, I'm Kathy Dennis saying happy birthday to Radio 1.
I'm Jason Donovan. Have a great 25th birthday, and here's to the 50th, 75th and 100th.
Hi, this is Tony Hadley. I'd like to wish everybody at Radio 1 a very, very happy 25th birthday. Enjoy yourselves.
Good afternoon, Great Britain. Good afternoon, Sutton Park. This is the Party in the Park. We have a day of superb entertainment.
Get on, get on, get on, get on, get on, my groovy train. Don't turn around, you didn't see my heart break. Don't turn around, I don't want to see you cry. If you want to, tell me on to. Know anything you really want to. Tell me on to your love, sweet love. Radio 1 music on BBC.
Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes.
The voice of Radio 1. Just for fun. Music too much.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the exciting new sound of Radio 1.
What led to the creation of Radio 1 was the fact that there had grown up since April 1965 or thereabouts a number of radio stations operating outside the legal limits, if you like, operating offshore from ships and so on, called the pirate stations. They were not licensed under British law, but they were commanding a great chunk of what essentially was actually a new radio audience.
My name's Simon D, with you for the next 2 hours. First one off the top of the pile, the Hollies, Rockin' Robin.
Twiddly, 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 twing, twing, twiddly. He rocks it, treats outside the day.
It'll be interesting to see if the young men behind this adventure can stand up against the Postmaster General, the BBC, International Telecommunications, and all the other opposition.
When the pirate ships were closed down in the late 60s and Radio 1 started, I think a lot of people thought, well, this isn't going to be much good, it's going to be the BBC sort of hashing it up. I don't think initially it was as good as the pirate radio ships to start off with, but I think we gave everybody a shock by introducing the American-powered jingles and things like that.
Radio 1, good time music.
Socially, right from the word go, it had an enormous impact. And of course, I remember my first audience figures on The Breakfast Show was 16 million. So for radio, having 16 million people listening to you, and more than that, was just tremendous. I mean, you made a name overnight, virtually. To start off a national station like that was a tremendous honour. And also, I mean, I knew immediately it would be successful because it didn't have any opposition, which is always a help. I mean, people were listening to me. I mean, the only opposition I had was Radio 2, which was playing military band music at times.
Talk about the moon floating in the sky, looking like a lily on a lake. Talk about the bird learning how to fly, making all the music he can make. Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Let's Let's talk about the star, looking like a toy, peeking through the branches of a tree. Talk about the girl, talk about the boy, counting all the ripples on the sea.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a really warm party in the park welcome for the wonderful Donovan.
Radio 1. I've heard of that. It's quite popular, isn't it? It's, yeah, it's very big. It's very big. Sort of place that most disc jockeys would like to work.
Make it real loud. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah!
The road shows for me are the most fun. I mean, we did one a couple of years ago in Derby where we had something like 45, 50,000 people, which was at the time the biggest road show that 1FM's ever done. Probably today will beat that. But that is just an incredible feeling.
Hi there. My God. There's a lot of people out there.
I don't want to be my own enemy. I want to make you see that I don't want to be alone. I want to tell the world that I'm on my own. I don't want to keep on losing sleep. The lies out of reach. I don't want to sleep alone. I'm tired of feeling cold living on my own. And it's in my heart for all to see.
When it comes to a national sort of broadcast and something that can get to every area of the country, this is the best.
You've got a friend, the happy sound of Radio 1.
Radio 1 Roadshow came out of an idea that I saw down in France originally. I was on holiday, and Radio Monte Carlo in Europe #1 had a big caravan that came around, and they took over the campsite for the day, and then in the evening put on an entertainment show. And I came back fired up with the idea this would be a great way to get Radio 1 out and about if we could do it in the weather, to actually meet the audiences whilst they're on summer holidays. And so that's how it started.
I sort of remember myself saying, I think we ought to take this show out and about all around the country because it's very London-based, the Roadshow. I remember saying that to somebody. A lot of people will say that they thought the idea up, and it's got so confusing now, nobody knows. I think probably Johnny Billing will take credit for it, and I'm sure he was one of those people that's instrumental. I mean, he's done a lot for the Roadshow and taking it out and about and things like that, and I'm sure Johnny will say that he invented the idea. I mean, I have an idea that I might have said it to somebody and they might have taken up the idea. I'm not absolutely certain. But I will, unless I'm going to be sued, I will take credit for the Radio 1 Roadshow and having invented it.
The Tony Blackburn Show.
And unfortunately, what do you know? We've run right out of time. Thank you very much indeed for listening. We're off to Newquay very, very shortly. In fact, in 3 3/4 minutes' time, to join Noel Edmonds for the Radio 1 Roadshow.
Thank you very, very much, Tone. It's a Thursday.
Radio 1 Roadshow, the right sound.
A Thursday, a beautiful, beautiful day. The Roadshow's moved on from Bude, and we are in a delightful place. We're at Newquay. We're on the beach.
I have a particular memory of sitting there at the desk and looking out at all these smiling faces, most people wearing swimwear, beautiful weather, and having a sex-craved engineer who was sitting behind this glass panel, continually saying into the headphones, 1 o'clock, 4 rows back, bird in yellow bikini. Oh, dear, look at that. And it threw me. I mean, how can you do a show to all these people, let alone the listeners, with somebody saying that? But it was that sort of mood and atmosphere that you were allowed out.
Here we are, and we've got a couple of requests to read out, and I think I'm going to enjoy this more than anybody, because a young lady has written a request right across her front. Over hill and down dale. Here we go. Please play... Can you just move that bit? Sorry, I can't... That's right. Can you please play a request for... I hope my wife isn't watching. For Jan and Alec, Jim and Les, John and Paula, and everybody from Bristol. Is that right?
Coventry.
Oh, Coventry. Sorry, I thought it must be Bristol. Pardon?
Come on now, let's get together in perfect harmony. I got 20 acres and you've got 43. Now I got a friend, you come my harvester and I'll give you the key.
Right, coming up to 9 minutes before 12 o'clock on 247 National Radio 1, and here come the jingle.
On the pieces, bits and pieces. Radio 1 Roadshow, the right sound.
Tonight with Alan Freeman.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the Radio 1 Roadshow. Today we're from the Pool Park in Dorset, a big crowd outside here. I know you want to hear some music. We're going to come out and talk to you very soon, but in the meantime, let's have some music coming from Slade. Here we go. And incidentally, let's see you do a bit of clapping, all right? And sing along with it.
My brother and myself built the first roadshow vehicle, which we were contracted for 4 years to run it. And after that, the roadshow grew and grew every year, and Radio 1 found the money and built the next roadshow vehicle. And the roadshow vehicle you see now, which is 90 foot long, is the 4th version, and is the biggest in the world.
The 1FM Roadshow.
Today, live from Tall Abbey Meadows, Torquay, with Simon Bell and the Breakfast Break.
celebrating 25 years. The lads are celebrating their 25th anniversary. Here they are. Let's hear it for Status Quo.
You know, it's hard to believe that Radio 1's been going for 25 years. But the wonderful thing about any kind of festival is that everybody comes as a family, determined to enjoy themselves. It doesn't matter whether it rains, thunders, snows or what. The whole family out there sticks together and they have the time of their lives. Well, I think the highlights have been doing Pick of the Pops, being given the chance to do the Saturday Rock Show between 1973 and 1978, and in fact being asked at this rather antiquated stage to come back and still do the Rock Show and still do Pick of the Pops. And it's all right, folks, I can tell you, not off.
Years ago, when I was at school, I used to draw. You know, I used to really like doing art. And I drew a picture of David Bowie, and I went to Radio 1. I was very young at the time, excuse me. And I stood outside waiting for David Hamilton. And I gave him my drawing of David Bowie. He didn't really pay much attention to it, but it was a real thrill at the time.
Good things coming your way as we rock on down Melody Lane, reviving the memories of the 50s and 60s. And this is volume 79, Feeling Fine. Do you remember the late and great Eddie Cochran? Just picture yourself at a football game. The hysteria rises. A million voices cry out. But there is one, just one voice that rises above all the others, and that voice has this to say.
All right, gang, are you ready? Then let's roll. It's a coming, 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 it's a coming. Gather round, gather round. I want you to know about a super sensational sort of show. Is it cool? Is it cool? Is it hip? Is it hip? Can you snap your fingers while you flip your hip? Roscoe's your man. He'll make you swing rockin' into your life. Tomorrow at noon and this evening at 5. Your man's on the scene, introducing Round Table. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
This is the Round Table. My name is Roscoe.
I don't think the listeners who listen in their millions and appear to appreciate and enjoy what we broadcast for them
they're not really concerned about playlists, they're only concerned about hearing good sounds, hearing their favourite sounds, perhaps being introduced to new sounds. We have a team of producers working on all the different shows during the day, and they all get together and pool their ideas and discuss what they think is right for the network.
It just sounds very flat sort of production-wise. It's Jimmy James, and it's written by Tony Macaulay, and I'm all right.
2 minutes 30 fades.
2 minutes 30 fades, yes.
Right. Radio 1's playlist is hated by the industry when they don't have a record on it, loved by the industry when they do. I think, genuinely, that in terms of, and obviously it's frustrating for a promotion man to be, as he perceives it, banging his head against a brick wall. My line to them is, you know, we're not in the business of selling records. Yes, inevitably it's a side, it's a byproduct. We're in the business of making good radio programs.
We're not just a top 40 station. I think it's important to say that. Yes, we do have mass audience programs, and we're not ashamed of those. We're delighted with them. People like Simon Bates, Simon Mayo, Jackie Brambles, they pull in very large audiences. Steve Wright, of course.
Well, in case you're wondering what we're doing today, we're actually out on the roof of Broadcasting House. Seriously, we can see those red buses and those black cabs and the whole of the London skyline right in front of me. What is that church there, boys?
What is that church?
Church.
C of E, I think.
Is that C of E?
Yep.
Is it all double parked out there? You sure?
We have an incredible breadth of music. We do all sorts of specialist music, whether it's Tommy Vance and Alan Freeman with their heavy metal, Andy Kershaw with his sort of brand of world music, John Peel with his very specialist, again, support for up-and-coming, perhaps rather obscure music.
Well, of course, one of the great advantages of being able to do a programme in the way that I'm permitted to do it is that I don't actually have to worry about whether the bands go on to become successful at all. So I have to be concerned about the kind of musical content and whether that's up to mark, but whether they go on to become famous and rich and so on is irrelevant. But obviously it's nice when people who do stuff that you like get through to a wider audience and make themselves a few bob, and it goes right back to people like Tyrannosaurus Rex, T-Rex in the early days.
Could it be you're gonna bring my baby to me? She'll be wild, you know, a rock and roll child, oh yeah. Milgaroo, is it you? Milgaroo, is it you?
In the punk period, producer John Walters and myself actually went round the record companies trying to persuade somebody to record Susie and the Band. And then there have been more recent examples, like my pals, The Farm, and you know, it's quite, they've been doing stuff. I think the first session they did for us was in 1983, and they went through a period of doing rather awful reggae stuff, which they thought was pretty neat, but I didn't. But I'm glad to see that they've been successful recently.
Don't you want to? You know I can't believe it when I see that you won't see me. Don't you want to? You know I don't believe it when they say that you won't see me. Such a lazy fire. You think you change your mind? You better change it back or we will both be sorry. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh, don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh.
Like every DJ loves and hates different bands and pushes and promotes different bands, and I have my little niche and I do my best to promote the artists that I really, really believe in.
I just want to change my trousers.
And I have nothing
Can
to
I
do
change
with this
my
at
trousers,
all.
please?
All right.
I mean, is there no privacy
The fact
anywhere
that
from
he's taking his trousers off and I'm in the same area is absolutely, it's just
turn
purely
round.
coincidental.
Will you turn around and hold that open?
What?
Please? Excuse me for a second.
You are disgusting, you know that? You'll do anything. Get round here quick!
International Radio 1.
We're aboard the Seacrest Pioneer, which is a container vessel, quite different to the other ones we've been on. Very safe, but as you can see, the waves on this lower deck are only about 2 foot from here. So much so that these fish have been swept on board in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Simon Bates and his producer physically carted a satellite uplink, a portable one, around the world and tried to prove they could get right around the world using surface navigation, and each day present a live program on Radio 1 for half an hour. Well, they got 3/4 of the way around the world and then were blocked when it came to Saudi Arabia, and they couldn't get a visa, so they had to overfly Saudi Arabia. So they didn't quite make the journey entirely on the surface. They took to the air just across one country. But it was a major effort, and it proved for the first time ever you could actually do a Radio 1 DJ show on a daily basis, bringing some of the experience of those different countries to the audience, and at the same time make money for charity, because they were sponsored and raised money for Oxfam as they went around the world.
It's 12 noon in London, 7 a.m. in Philadelphia, and around the world it's time for Live Aid. 16 hours of live music in aid of famine relief in Africa.
I have to say that in my work in life in Radio 1, I don't think that anything will ever come near Live Aid. I mean, I've been very proud to be associated with a lot of the other concerts we've done, particularly the 2 Mandela concerts, particularly the one where he was actually there and gave his first major speech outside of South Africa. The next thing I've got planned at the moment is the Michael Jackson concert, which is coming live from Bucharest the day after Radio 1's birthday, which is quite a challenge because, as far as I know, I don't think there's ever been a major rock concert in Romania at all. My experience of doing concerts from other countries, I did one with Elton John in Moscow in 1979, but basically they've been in countries where one pretty knows what the situation is, like in Spain or America. I've done concerts from there. I've never even been to Romania. I have the faintest idea of what we're going to expect. We've had people going out to wreck it on the technical side and, you know, sort things like that out. But it's certainly going to be a challenge, no doubt about that.
So hard for me to dance. It ain't so hard for me to dance. It ain't so hard for me to dance. It ain't so hard for me to jam. 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 Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating Radio 1's 25th anniversary. Here they are, the #1 band right now, kicking it all over the world. I'm talking about
One knew that they needed some sunshine. So they heard about me out in Radio Bedfordshire, where I was cooking for 5 years, man. I've been giving them sunshine, right? And then Radio 1 says, okay, let's send for the man Zeke to come on Radio 1. So they gave me a little 13-week break, and I took that 13-week break, and man, we're flying. So the sun is shining continually all over the United Kingdom.
I won't miss your arms around me, holding me tight tonight. And if you ever think about me, just know that I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna be strong, I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about this a hard of mine. I'll know I'll survive, I'll make it through, and I'll learn to live without you. But don't turn around, 'cause you're gonna see my heart break there. Don't turn around, I don't want to see me cry. Just walk away, just tell me about that you're leaving. I'm letting you go, and I won't let you go, baby. Say, look at that, the sun is coming, yippee! And I love you. I wish I could say to you, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't turn around, 'cause you're gonna see my heart breaking. Don't turn around, I don't want to see you me cry. Just walk away, just tell me about that you're leaving. I'm letting you go. Yeah.
If you look back over the last 8 years, we were perhaps more top 40 orientated then than we are now. What I'm trying to make it is that the speech is more meaningful, more worthwhile, relevant to the music. We do have alternative comedy now. Alternative comedians weren't heard on network radio 8 years ago. Social action, news. So there is a little more speech on the network, but primarily we're still first and foremost a music station for young adults.
24 hours, BBC Radio 1 FM.
At the end of the day, Radio 1 has always been more committed to breaking new artists than most other stations. It records so many hours of live music in the year, and the DJs have got quite a lot of freedom. You know, I mean, let's face it, they wouldn't allow me to one of the gigs dressed like this, you know what I mean, if I wasn't fairly free. Mad but free.
When looking back at the history of Radio 1, I think the thing that really is important to remember is the enormous popularity of the disc jockeys in that early period. I mean, we've got so much radio these days that the idea of a star jock has somewhat diminished. But we'd had the cult of the personality DJ created by pirate radio, but it hadn't ever been national. I mean, a lot of people could hear London and Caroline, but there weren't truly national figures. And suddenly, on Radio 1, we had these national figures. And it was unbelievable. I remain enormously grateful to Radio 1, without which I would not have opportunities like this. And I'm very proud to have been part of what I think was the true golden age of popular radio.
Easy when you're number one. Everybody say you're having fun. Smiling for the waiting for my friend to